Hey team, welcome back to the 360 Fitness Consult Sales System course. My name is Jack Wheeler, the CEO of 360 Fitness, and I'll be guiding you through Module 4 today. This module is all about the reasons why people buy. So in the previous modules, we learned more about who we are, who 360 Fitness is, what's our what, what's our how, and most importantly, what's our why. Then we learned a lot more about our client, what makes them tick, what makes them click, and then what makes them book a consultation with us. What's the thought process behind making the decision to reach out and ask for help? And then in the last module, we talked about having the right mindsets. We talked about having the winner's mindset and the sales mindset. So all those things were necessary steps to Module 4, learning why people actually pull the trigger and buy. So we learned why they booked in for a consultation with us, but what's the thing that's going to get them to commit? Let's get at it. So why people buy? We break this module down into 2 lessons and 2 main reasons why people buy with us, okay, unique to us. So lesson 1 is something called the value ladder. Lesson 2, and the second reason why people buy from 360 Fitness, is pain versus pleasure. So this means that people are either buying to avoid pain, or people are either buying to increase pleasure. Okay, so I made 2 little quick videos for the value ladder and for pain for pleasure, and we're going to watch them together because I want to make sure that you watch them back to back. You don't have to flip all over the course, and then we can keep going afterwards. And at the very end, I want you guys to really take this serious and watch the additional bonus video called Anatomy of Closing Clients. It's a little bit longer video, and it's a mastermind sales seminar from an awesome fitness saleswoman, Samantha Taylor. So Samantha Taylor has been selling personal training programs for longer than most of you have been alive, okay? And she was doing this awesome seminar at a FitPro conference to fitness professionals all around the world. And she's known as a sales beast. But the main reason that she's known as a sales beast isn't because she's a hard closer and that, she gets the best price and blah, blah, blah. It's because she can understand the prospect better than most people, and she understands why people buy. So let's get at it. Here we go. So why people buy in the first place, why people say yes to a decision and no to a decision, comes down to some pretty basic things. Okay? So now that we understand the psychology of our prospects, and why we actually had those people in for a consultation in the first place, we can start to review what made them pull the trigger. So at what point do prospects value the service more than their money? Remember, like we were talking about in the mindset module, we have to understand our value, but we also have to understand our value to the prospect. So in this section, we're going to find out at what point does somebody value our solution more than the $300 or $400 that they have in their pocket. And what we found is that it comes down to 2 main things. If the value is just absolutely high enough, if it seems like a no-brainer, okay? And then number 2, if their desire to avoid pain or their desire to seek pleasure is high enough, okay? So here we go. Lesson 1, value ladder.
Hey everyone, Jack here with 360 Fitness, and here in this module we're going to learn why people buy. So we kind of know the psychology of the prospect, we kind of know the point of view of the clients, we kind of know what they're thinking about, what they want, what their needs are, everything else like that brought them in for the consultation, that let them sit down with you and let them spill the beans to you. Okay, so here I want to talk about what are the driving forces behind somebody actually pulling the trigger, somebody actually committing, and somebody actually buying a service, okay? So it's all fun and games actually until a sale is made, all right? So we can't fulfill our mission, we can't fulfill our obligation, we can't fulfill our duty until we get that person to buy in mentally and financially, right? That's when we get the commitment from the person, okay? So really when it comes down to it, people buy for 2 reasons. Number 1 is the value ladder, and that means that somebody holds the service and the benefit benefit, like what they're going to get from that product or service in higher value than the money that they have in their pockets. Okay? Number two is people are on pain versus pleasure. So they are trying to avoid pain as much as possible, get that out of their lives, or seek pleasure to bring more pleasure into your lives. We'll talk about that in a different lesson. But for this one, we're talking about the value ladder, all right? So when a prospect comes in and sees you, they're already pre-qualified. They already kind of know what we're all about. They're an educated consumer. It's great because the sales process isn't a high-pressure sales process then. It's an education process all along the way. And then we have a lot more of an honest interaction and two-way interaction, all right? So that person already knows that the service is going to be a little bit more expensive, that the investment is there, but we also have to translate that value to them, okay? So when we're talking about the value ladder, again, remember that the value to that person can be entirely different than what you think the value of that person is, all right? So for instance, I'm not a car guy at all, right? So when one of our clients pulls up in a $200,000 Aston Martin, I'm blown away and it's like, hey, that's a wicked car, that's awesome. Not for me, okay? I wouldn't do that, right? I got a $28,000, $30,000 car maximum. I'm going to drive that thing into the gutter. It doesn't matter to me. It's point A to point B. But for this person, that $200,000 car, he sees so much more value in it than I do, that I have to put on his goggles when I'm looking at it, okay? So it's everything to him. It's all the benefits and the features and everything that he wants, okay? So I have to put on his goggles when I'm looking at that car. Same thing with this, okay? So we have to translate the value of that person, that the value of their service and the value of all the benefits and the value of the solutions and all the problems that are going to be solved is more than the money they have in their pockets, okay? So losing weight, feeling great, burning fat, fitting into their skinny jeans, just feeling a hell of a lot better about themselves at home, in the office, out in social circles, that means more to them than the $300 or $400 a month, okay? So for us, it's tough to see that, maybe not being 100 pounds overweight or not being able to crawl up the stairs or, you know, keep up with the kids. So always keep that point of view, all right? So with the value ladder, we have high value, low price, okay? So price is on one spectrum, value is on the other, supply and demand. So high value things are high commitment things. Low value and low price things are low commitment things, all right? So for instance, at 360 Fitness, we are either the best or the cheapest in our minds. We need to be the best. So if that means that we're the most expensive, then so be it, okay? So we just throw a price at the package of all the value that we have, and that's the price accordingly, all right? So with personal training, absolutely, it's high priced, right? But so is everything else of high value. It's high commitment. So the lower the price, the lower the commitment, all right? What I mean by this is let's say for Groupon, for instance. Let's say you see one of our competitors putting out, 30 days of boot camp, plus like a crappy little ebook or whatever else, $30 for 30 days for $15. Awesome. They're going to make a ton of sales that day, low ticket sales. They're going to sell a ton of $15 programs, but you know how many people are going to show up for the very first workout? Barely any, if any at all, okay? So somebody is there buying the sale, buying the deal. They're not buying the service and buying the benefits and buying the long-term solution. So for a Groupon deal, it's a hell of a lot easier. Just get sucked in with the deal and forget about it in like 15 minutes, okay? So when I buy something on Groupon, I buy the deal. I have to go back into my Groupon little app to see what I even bought and when it expires. My commitment to that thing is so low, okay? It was an impulse purchase at best. This is exactly what public gyms do, especially, Januaries and Septembers. Come on in, everybody. It's $10 a month. No sign-up fees. First month's on us even, right? $10 after that. What they're trying to do is get as many people in there and then for those people to forget that they even have a membership, okay? So it's low price is low commitment. It's a hell of a lot easier to not go to the gym when you're paying $10 a month than to go to the gym and you're paying $400 a month here, okay? So you're having a crappy day at work, the spouse is on you, the boss is on you, the kids are just driving you up the wall. oh, you know what? I don't think I'm going to hit the gym today. I'm just going to go home and relax. That's at $10 a month. It's very easy for me to make that decision because I hold that gym membership in low value and low price. So it's easy to stay not committed to it, right? If I'm paying $400 a month and the kids are crazy, the boss is on me, the spouse is on me, oh my gosh. If I don't go today, I'm going to lose that $40 session. My trainer's going to be on me the next day. I'm going to have to call. I'm going to have to talk to someone. I'm going to have to give these excuses. Oh God, it's going to be tough. It's a lot harder for me to bail on my commitments, right? So the higher value, the higher price stuff holds them accountable and holds them committed to the program. So what I'm talking about here is people are going to buy on value, all right? So if they see something that has more value to them in the long run than money in their pocket does in the short run, they're going to purchase, okay? So it's up to us as salespeople to show them and translate that value to them all the way through, all right? So that's where we get away from, crappy features, and we talk about the benefits, and we don't talk about, the memberships and the contracts and the programs and the packages. That's not stuff we sell. We sell solutions. We sell answers to people's problems, okay? So whenever that person is about to buy and actually decides to buy, and they're like, yeah, I'm wanting to do this, you have translated that value to them, and you've shown them the price isn't really an option, okay? So the higher the value something is, the more priceless that it gets, all right? So for instance, that $10 a month public gym, okay? Let's say that $10 a month public gym jacked their rates to $20 a month. That is huge. Who cares that it's only $10 a month? But in that person's eyes, that gym just doubled their rates. They're going to have a whole bunch of people pissed off about it, even though they shouldn't be, right? $20 a month compared to $10, it's like, oof. Right? They're going to start to haggle on price. They're going to start to say this is too expensive. It's one of the first things to go because they hold it in low value because it's so cheap. All right? So if you've ever downloaded a free report or a free ebook online or free this, free that, you got a coupon on the mail, it's free. Man, right? If I use it, I use it. If I don't, I don't. Who cares, right? So when it's free for somebody, it doesn't really have a tangible value, so they just kind of put it off to the wayside. All right? But for personal training, that person is going to make some changes in their lifestyle, make some changes in their budget, make some changes in their schedule and everything around them to make it work long term, right? So for instance, like a mortgage. Let's say that person's mortgage rate went from $1,500 a month to $2,000 a month. Yeah, that sucks. It's going to be a big punch in the face, but people are going to hustle their asses off to make that other $500 a month to make sure that they actually keep their house, make sure they have a roof over their kids and their wife and their husband's, heads, right, at night. But if somebody jacks their public gym membership from $10 to $20 a month, that's the first thing to go. So even though it was a $10 increase, in their brain they hold it in such low value they're going to discard it right off the bat. But if somebody jacked their mortgage from $1,500 to $2,000 a month, you bet your ass they're going to really work hard and really hustle to make that happen for their family because it's priceless at this point. Because they're so committed and they see so much value in having shelter, right? A home for their family that they're going to make it happen, all right? So when that person says, yeah, I want to do this, I want to have my initial assessment, let's start Monday, you've established that value to them and you've made them climb that ladder high enough, all right? So the value ladder, the higher the value, doesn't matter about price, the more committed they are, such as like a personal training membership, right? And then the lower the value, usually the lower the price, the less committed they are. Boot camps, public gyms, crappy ass Groupon deals, all that fun stuff. So it really just translates it right off the bat. Even if it's the same or similar service, the price of it is going to establish perception of value and perceived value right off the bat. One analogy I really like to use is that you're going to go buy a brand new car, all right? You go to this awesome Cadillac dealership and you see two brand new Escalades side by side, exact same model. From the outside, it looks all the same. You see one priced at $90,000, right? MSRP on a Cadillac. Or if you see the exact same model on an Escalade for $5,000. Which one do you feel that has more value? Which one are you more likely to buy? it isn't that $5,000 Cadillac, because you know that it's way too cheap compared to the perception of value, that you know something's wrong with it, right? It's a lemon, the tranny's busted, you know, the tires are filled with rocks. It doesn't matter, okay? So that perception of value. So usually things are on a higher value scale. We're going to have a higher price because there's people and experts in that field that say, yeah, compared to everything else, this should have a higher price point because of the value is higher, right? So always remember that. You could be selling a Cadillac, but if you're competing on price and putting it at $5,000, you're going to lose more customers than you're going to gain. And the customers that you're going to gain at $5,000, well, they're going to haggle you down to $4,500 and $4,000. And it doesn't matter whatever else is wrong with that caddy. If you start to compete on price and not value, you are going to descend down that value ladder very fast. And you're going to have to compete with Groupon and, you know, crappy $29 a month gym memberships that don't give you anything and don't promise results and don't give you more than just a fob system to scan on in, right? We're not competing with places that just rent equipment, right? We are in the results business. So let them just climb that ladder, and when they're ready to buy, you show them enough value. So good job.
Awesome. So that's lesson 1, the value ladder. Let's dive right into the second lesson, guys. Lesson number 2, pain versus pleasure. This one's a little bit shorter. Here we go.
Hey guys, Jack here with 360 Fitness again in the sales course. And in this lesson, we are talking about the second reason why people finally commit and finally buy. So in the previous lesson, we learned about the value ladder and showing them that the higher that we send them up the ladder, it doesn't matter about the price anymore. It just shows them that they're more committed to their goal in the end. The second thing that people buy for is the pain versus pleasure scale, okay? So when somebody buys, they are doing one of two things. They are trying to avoid pain at all costs or seek pleasure at all costs, okay? So some people, if they're undecided, they have no goals, they have no fails, they have, you know, really no troubles in the world, they might be right here. They're kind of like in La La Land. They don't really know where to go, all right? We get a lot of people that enter our pre-qual here, that get weeded out of the way completely, or pushed towards here or here based on the questions that we ask them, okay? So for instance, somebody's trying to avoid pain in their life. That means as if somebody's saying, I want to lose 50 pounds because I can't get up the stairs and my knees swell and they're in terrible pain all the time and I can't sleep and I have to buy all these creams and ointments and whatever else, da-da-da-da-da. That person wants to lose weight to avoid pain they have in their life right now. And the worse that pain is, the more likely they are to buy. Again, remember, like I said, at all costs. So if you have, you know, a life or death question in front of you and somebody says, buy this or you are gone tomorrow morning, I am freaking likely to buy because I want to avoid that pain as much as possible. So when somebody they're more likely to buy when they're avoiding pain farther and farther on the scale, all right? But also at the same time, the people that want to seek pleasure the most are also likely to buy, all right? So when somebody says, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds because I want to run that marathon with my daughter, it's been a goal that we wanted to do our entire lives, I want to get to that finish line, have a big celebration, and really just have a great time, right? I really want to have a blast this time. I don't want to, have all that other crap in here. I'm seeking pleasure, okay? I want to lose 30 pounds so I can pass my medical at work and get my promotion, right? They're seeking pleasure. And the more pleasure that they're seeking away from the middle, the more likely they are to buy. So when our prospects come in, we're not saying that their problems are worse than they are, or we're not saying that they need a lot more pleasure in their life. That's up to them. That's what we do our probing and discovery questions, is we find out what spectrum are they and how freaking committed are they to this plan. All right? So when somebody is saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, and you go, oh, that's Okay, that's fine. We can do that. We haven't established why they want to lose that 10 pounds. That's our jobs, our obligation, and our duty to dig into that person, right? We have to make their goals and emotions meet, because they're not going to be committed to it long term if they don't truly understand why the hell they want to lose 10 pounds in the first place, okay? Or do they just want a stupid number on the scale? We got to dig. We got to find out why. Because when that person knows their why, it's the same as us, they're more likely to stick to it in the end, right? Press those buttons. So when somebody is trying to avoid more pain, they're more likely to buy. So that's our job, to not create pain, but to dig it out of them, to say like, hey, you want to lose that 20 pounds? Why? Well, I want to feel better in my clothes. Why? Okay, well, last time I went out to dinner with my husband, I tried to put on my jeans that I had on from 6 months ago, and they were super snug, and I couldn't put the top button on, and I had to wear a different belt, and it was really embarrassing every single time I got up to go use the bathroom. I had to suck it in and walk past my hubby. Boom, there it is, right? So they know why they're here, but it's our job for them to tell us, okay? So it's incredibly tough for someone to pull over and ask for directions and to come in for a consultation at 360 Fitness. We make it incredibly hard for these people, to do business with us. And that's a good thing, right? We want them to be committed. We don't want them to hierarchy, and we want to set a tone for success going forward. That this is not going to be an easy thing, right? They have to call us or go online or come on in to book a consultation. And then we demand time from them, right? 30 to 60 minutes for a free consultation. And then they come in and then they see our staff of 20 to 35-year-old good fit people asking them, hey, why do you want to lose 50 pounds, right? Usually in an uncomfortable environment the first day, right? So it's tough. It's very tough for someone to do business with us. Now, we have to find out why they even wanted to in the first place. And I bet you it's more than just, I want to lose 10 pounds just cause, right? So we have to figure it out, and we have to pry that out of them. Not in a negative way, but we just have to ask why. We have to find out what the driving factor behind all those goals are. So that's what we always ask. And then when we put them on that scale, we have to reinforce it, all right? So if they're saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, and because I felt uncomfortable in my clothes, all right, well, they're trying to avoid pain. Why? I want to lose 20 pounds because I want to be able to run. Why, right? So we have to move them up and down the ladder, left and right, either to seek pleasure for something, beneficial that they can see down the road, or avoid pain, something in their life that's causing them havoc that they need out right away. Again, farther on the scale, either way, they're more likely to buy. So that's the second driving force in someone actually saying, yeah, I want to commit. Here's my credit card. I want to start Monday. Okay, see you guys next time.
So there we go, guys. Lesson 2, pain versus pleasure, the second reason why people buy. So let's kind of wrap that up. Let's kind of review. So we had 2 main reasons why people buy from 360 Fitness. Yeah, there might be other reasons, right, that don't really respond to what we offer and what we provide. But when it comes down to it, lesson 1 really demonstrated on why people buy for our value, and it's the value ladder. Okay, it's our job to set the tone right off the bat and inform the prospect on how valuable our service is. From there, we'll need to translate that value to them and show that there is value in solving their problems. Okay, so I know that I put it all into one big video here in the module, but I will include a solo video of the value ladder just in case you want to revisit that guy. Same thing for the second lesson, pain versus pleasure. So pain versus pleasure is people are either avoiding pain or seeking pleasure. It's pretty simple. Which one is it for your prospect? It's our job to figure that out and get them involved in that process. So if somebody wants to avoid pain, get them out of their life, get something that's causing havoc out right now. It's an emergency. It's an urgent thing, okay? Pleasure seeking is more like down the road, I wish I could. I want to be able to, only if, right? A little bit of more future self. So there's a pretty distinct difference between pain versus pleasure. But those are the main 2 reasons, guys, is that we show enough value, or we can decrease pain enough and take pain away, or we can give them enough pleasure that they see that it's more valuable than anything else. All right? So our homework for this one is, again, watch that insider video from Samantha Taylor. She's a tremendous fitness saleswoman. She's been selling for more than 25 years. She's awesome. She's a master because she asks why and connects emotions to commitments better than anybody else I know. Okay, so go back into this sales website, into this course website, and go to the next video for the bonus. And then I'll also include the 2 standalone videos, lesson 1, the value ladder, and lesson 2, pain versus pleasure. Okay, that's all for module 4. Get on it. Leave yourself some time for the bonus video from Samantha Taylor, and I'll see you guys in module 5. Module 5 is a big one, so get ready. This is when we get into the meat. I'll see you guys there. Bye-bye.